Interesting.
All donations are gratefully accepted. Just throw a check in the post. 2,000 euro, 3,000 euros, it's fine. Throw it in, and I'll spend it because I'm a nice guy.
That's the world we live in now. Females are entitled and fucking lazy.
I teach men to be strong. I teach men how to make money.
That's how you recruit girls. There's no power in sushi. You ain't got time.
Another thing I learned is that women are only loyal to the dick they're sucking.
World champion kickboxer, pimp, mafia associated criminal. Like, I've got all this stuff, and everyone's like, who is this dude? Like, surely it can't all be true. Well, it's all true.
Emery Andrew Tate III was born on the 1st of December 1986 in an Air Force base near Washington, D.C. When Andrew was born, the doctor pinched his thigh, to which the newborn Tate growled at the doctor, who was shocked at his defensive powers, apparently. His father was in the US Air Force, and while stationed in Britain he met Andrew's mother and the pair fell in love. His father was a fairly interesting man and a big influence on Andrew, so let's get to know him a little better. His name was Emery Tate and he could speak Russian, English, Spanish and German, plus he was an international master in chess. Emery left the Air Force to pursue a career in chess and would spend hours training Andrew in chess strategies, a skill that Andrew seemed to have a natural talent for, becoming a state champion at the age of 5 and winning matches against much older children. As you can imagine, playing chess was not the best paying job for his father, so the family moved around, living in Illinois and Indiana. Andrew idolised his father, so he was heartbroken when his parents divorced due to his father cheating on his mother when he was aged 11. Andrew recalls that his father told him at the time that he would understand when he grows up, which Andrew now says that he does understand and agrees with what his father did. His mother took him and his brother to live at a homeless shelter in Luton, England, a place not known for its chess or intellectual endeavours, so Andrew made the best of what was around him and started kickboxing. Again, Andrew seemed to have a natural talent for this, plus his early start in chess gave him a strategic advantage, giving him a fighting style more like a chess player than a brawler. Andrew had a fairly uneventful youth, but does recall the moment that made him want to become rich. While walking to college with his friends, they saw someone drive past in a Ferrari. This was an eye-opening moment for Andrew, as his mum couldn't even afford a car, which was why he was walking 4 miles to go and get an education to help him find a job that would never make him enough money to buy a car like that. So Andrew decided to take his own path in life, a path that would make him rich. Andrew was offered a place at university for free due to his good grades, but turned this down when they asked him to complete a personal statement that he thought was silly. So he left school and got a job carrying fish at a fish market. Andrew would run everywhere at this stage as he could not afford a car. He would run to work, then run to his kickboxing gym after work, then run home. He had dreams of becoming the world champion and would train hard to be in the best physical condition that he could manage. He jumped from job to job, most notably sales, which he excelled in and learnt a lot from.
My instructor makes sure I fight any rules that he fights. He's just like, oh, tomorrow against whoever boxing.
So obviously you've had your stint kind of doing a bit of reality TV. What's the ultimate goal within fighting for you? Other than being ultimate challenger?
Oh, yeah.
Traveller?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know if I have a goal in fighting as such. I do it because I enjoy it.
Okay. You're good at it?
I'm all right.
As a young man, someone attacked him with a knife, trying to cut his throat, but Andrew raised his hand to block the knife, which nearly cut his finger off. I've been unable to find any other details about this incident. Andrew would see his father around once a year. He still idolised his father and would take the advice given to him from his father to heart. This advice would be things like allowing people or society to manipulate him so that he can find out what their end goal is and work out what to fight against. Andrew talks about his dad a lot and how his father predicted a lot of the problems in the world today. He also talks a lot about honouring his father's last name and really looks up to him. Andrew would become a professional fighter in 2007, fighting in both kickboxing and mixed martial arts under the name King Cobra. His record in MMA is 2 wins and 1 loss, and in kickboxing 76 wins and 9 losses. Tate was a talented fighter, having won 4 championship belts in kickboxing.
This is a world title, and this means that I am the best kickboxer in the world. Now, because I'm so cool, I actually have 2 world titles at 2 different weights. So while you're best in the world at nothing, you're not even the best in your town at anything, I'm the best in the world twice.
Even in his early life, it was clear that Andrew had a lust for fame, and in 2009 he appeared on a British reality TV show called The Ultimate Traveller. This was a show where 3 boys and 3 girls would backpack across Indonesia with limited money and win a prize at the end if they got the most votes.
The main reason I'm voting for Chloe is because I don't think anyone else will. And I think that having my vote as her only vote is going to hold a huge merit. So really, I'm just trying to manipulate her, put her on the side, make her a usable weapon at some point. But I am playing the game. I'm not interested in the money at the end. I'm not interested in the 50% extra budget. I'm interested in winning. And the only reason I'm interested in winning is because I don't think I'll be able to. I'm going to have to manipulate a lot of people to win. But that's what I want to do. I want to win just so I can go home and say, yeah, I won. I manipulated them all.
He didn't win. In 2019, Andrew would appear on another reality TV show called Big Brother, where contestants would be locked in a house and filmed for 24 hours a day, then voted out one by one.
So I know I'm the most intelligent person in this house. I know I'm the most capable person in this house.
He didn't win. Tate wasn't voted out though. He was kicked out by the producers of the programme. Tate claims that he was kicked out because they were scared he was going to beat up some of the other contestants, but the show kicked him out when 2 videos of him beating up his girlfriend were leaked to the British newspapers. These videos showed him beating a woman with a belt and slapping her in the face and are shocking when viewed out of context, but a video was later released by Andrew showing the woman asking to be beaten harder, and the woman herself released a video after the 2 had broken up, claiming that this was something that she asked for and enjoyed.
Hello everyone, I just wanted to say something about the video that's been released recently about me and my ex-boyfriend Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw on the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game.
Another video was also released showing him threatening to beat a woman who had locked herself in a toilet. This one didn't seem consensual, but I'm confused why he would record himself doing this if it wasn't part of some kinky game. I'm not too sure what the truth of this one is.
That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
We do. We can neck it all. Tell Luke he's a pussy. Drink all the booze. This is how we go. Take off an actual. We'll drink it.
Bruv, I'm a fucking responsible individual. I have normal work to do. I can't drink like this all the time.
Why not?
It's fucking insanity, bro.
I teach men to be strong. I teach men how to make money. I teach men how to be confident, how to be motivated, how to be disciplined, how to be diligent, how to be hardworking. If a man adopts these qualities and applies them to his life will get better. This isn't a matter of just consuming content on the internet. This is a matter of people's lives genuinely changing their day-to-day reality. If that happens, if somebody's day-to-day reality changes because they're a fan of me and they listen to my content, who do you think you are to come along and tell them to stop and go back to misery? It's never going to work.
In 2015, Tate retired from kickboxing as he wanted to focus on becoming rich, so he started to learn all he could about making large amounts of money. While researching on the internet, he saw an ad pop up for a cam girl website and a light bulb lit up above his head. Andrew knew that this was a money-making opportunity, but he had no cam girls or clue what he was doing. He did, however, have lots of girlfriends all around the world. Unsurprisingly, being a 4-time world champion kickboxer meant that he had 6 girlfriends dotted all over the globe, so he called them up and flew them out to London with a business proposition. 6 women turned up in London to discover that their boyfriend actually had 5 other girlfriends and wanted them to work as a cam girl. Nice. 4 of them left, but 2 of them stayed, and the business was up and running. At the start, this was a pretty amateur, small-scale operation with Andrew typing the messages pretending to be the girls as they performed on the camera. I would just like to stay on this point for a second. Andrew Tate, the hyper-masculine man who screams on the internet at men to man up, would message lonely guys while they pleasured themselves, and a lot of them were repeat customers, so he would build relationships with them. I just love the thought of Andrew Tate messaging Bruce from Melbourne, knowing all the little things that he likes. Bruce likes it when I call him daddy. I just found this detail funny. Anyway, in the early days of the cam girl business, Andrew's father sadly passed away from a heart attack while playing in a chess tournament. Andrew didn't go to the funeral as he didn't trust the girls to run the business while he was away. This seems to have been a good business decision, as the cam girl empire grew and grew until he had 75 girls working for him. At its height, the cam girl business would make $400,000 a month, and Andrew's dreams of being rich were on the fast track to becoming reality. This business was not without its problems though, with Tate saying that having 75 girls working for him was a big mistake, as they were only there for the money, which made them much more difficult to work with. So he downscaled the business to only 8 women, 4 of which were his girlfriend and 4 of which were his brother's girlfriend. They all moved into a 10-bedroom house in London and lived as one big happy family. In interviews, Tate proudly compares himself to a pimp when talking about this time period and claims that he would use love to get the women to work for him, which meant that he could keep more of the profits. Tate would encourage the women working for him to prey on lonely men's desperation, asking the men to buy them plane tickets and send them large amounts of money so that they could come and visit, then never turn up. Knowing that the men had developed an emotional connection to the women and had little other options, they would repeat this over and over again until the men would finally give up. Some of these men would give up to £20,000. Andrew has described this business as one big scam, saying that the girls' keyboards weren't even plugged in.
And I'm sitting there typing, and I'd type 16, 17 hours a day, but I'd pull in, let's say, $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day. So that became my new life, right? I went from kickboxer to a fucking pretend girl on the internet.
The next big break for Andrew came by accident. He began to buy large amounts of Bitcoin at the cost of $3,000, not because he was a clever investor, but because a lot of his online dealings were in cryptocurrency, and as luck would have it, the price of Bitcoin would go up, and his net worth would double. Even with all this money, Andrew still had a lust for fame, so he began to use social media to show off his wealth and make friends with right-wing internet personalities. But just as his brand began to grow online, he was arrested by the British police. His house was raided, his computers were seized, and ultimately he was released. There is conflicting information about this incident, so I'll give you both accounts and you can make your own mind up. So Andrew's version is that one of his cam girls/girlfriends got drunk in his house and was sick on the floor. Andrew asked her to clean up the mess, to which she refused, so he picked her up by her arms and put her outside, then packed her belongings and put them outside. He owed her £1,000, which he refused to pay her, so she went to the police and said that he had hit her. When his house was raided, all of the women who lived there, so his girlfriends/cam workers, defended Andrew, and the woman who made the complaint even admitted that she was lying, but the police investigated him for 4 years, which cost him $450,000 in legal fees. That's his side of things. The other side is taken from a Vice documentary. In this documentary, they interviewed 2 women who claim Andrew forced himself upon them in what are pretty harrowing stories. They play voice messages left by Andrew threatening the women and detail how he would hit and strangle them. In total, they claim the police investigated 3 cases of him forcing himself upon women. YouTube doesn't like this word, but it begins with R. The charges for this were dropped due to lack of evidence. I have no idea which account is true, but I do have some experience with the British justice system, and there is no way they would spend 4 years investigating a simple assault. Maybe they were also investigating his cam business, which is why it took so long. I do also have some experience with watching Vice documentaries, and they misrepresent stuff all the time, plus the women's identities are hidden, so they could just be actors or actresses. Make your own minds up which one you believe more. Whatever the truth is, this event prompted Andrew to leave the UK and move to Romania. The reasons he gave for this are that the country is corrupt, so he could easily bribe them if he ever got into trouble again, and they don't listen to women when they complain to the police. Both of these theories didn't work out too well for Andrew, but we'll look at that later. An odd little fact is that in 2019, after he had moved, he started to foster Romanian street dogs. He would take them into his home, care for them, and try to rehome them. Not super important, but I found it interesting. Andrew Tate has also tried his hand at making music. He did this as one of his musician friends was taking years to record an album, so Andrew made some songs to show him that he could do these in just a few hours. They're pretty shit, and you can tell it only took a few hours to make. I have no idea if they're copyrighted, but if I can play them, I'll play them now.
Probably won't reply. I'm the type of guy, bitches on the side. I'ma spend the money, we can spend a little time. All you gotta do is ask me, and I can make you look classy. Second that you walk past me, I turned the whip around, I had to get you in my backseat. They call call me Mr. Plenty, plenty. Check the leather on the Bentley. Nice. Show your friends will get friendly. Maybe I could be your sugar daddy, sugar daddy.
Another weird thing is that he calls himself Top G, which is a real thing that a grown man calls himself. Jordan Peterson's daughter flew out to see him in Romania. It's a little unclear what this was all about, but some speculate that Top G got his little winky wet. Let's also take a look at his financial situation. So as we've already gone over, he made a lot of money from his cam girl business and Bitcoin, but he also owns casinos across Eastern Europe, partly owns the Romanian UFC, which he is a commentator for sometimes. He has alluded to money laundering for the Albanian mafia. Others have claimed that he's in deep with the Romanian mob. He has 33 sports cars, including a Bugatti Veyron worth $2.9 million. Andrew gives differing amounts for his total net worth that range from 335 million to 1 billion. It doesn't really matter, I guess. He has a lot of money is the main point. A lot of his money has come from his online internet career, so let's take a look at that.
If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool. All right.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
Because you're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my product.
Your product?
Yes,
The
correct.
women, she's not
Next
your
question.
possession. No.
Like, I imagined the skydiving school would be full of, like, military types. Or dudes like me. You know, like supreme specimens of man.
Never say going to bed. Going to bed is emasculate. Cowards need sleep. Oh, I'm texting you, you beautiful girl, but I'm tired. I'm going to bed. You know what I like to say at fucking 1:15 in the morning? I'm going to work. Work, at this time, money never sleeps, baby. Then I go to bed. I have nothing to talk to women about besides either sleeping with them or... wait. Yeah, that's it.
In 2017, Andrew started a YouTube channel. He had been using social media before this, but the YouTube channel Tate Speech, very clever play on words, was his big push for internet stardom. This was the very first sentence from the very first video he ever posted.
My name's Andrew Tate. I'm the most knowledgeable human in the world.
Sounds accurate. In the early days, Andrew would post videos about random stuff and just speak his mind. As with all early YouTube channels, no one really watched, but as time went by, he started to focus on teaching people how to be rich like he was. His videos would be shot next to nice cars, and his blunt, over-the-top persona began to get him noticed. He became a small YouTube finance guru, selling courses to anyone who would pay for them. These courses would range from how to play chess to how to set up a cam girl business. Andrew's fans then started to ask advice on how to pick up girls, so his content started to include these types of videos.
So if you're going to truly succeed with women, you need to, okay, sleep with a lot of them, but you also need to get that deeper connection with women where it gets to the point where you can say, you know what, babe, I'm going to jail 6 years for locking me up, and she'll visit every week. That's what every man truly really wants, I'd like to think, at least.
Loyalty is what you're saying.
Yeah, loyalty, because what if a woman's not loyal to you, what other value does she have? What value is a non-loyal woman? And this is a genuine question. You're fucking some girl, she's fucking someone else. Like, what value is she? Sex? Is that it? Like, are you so desperate that you have to bang something that everyone else bangs? Without loyalty, a woman's worth absolutely nothing. Whereas me, I'm not loyal to my girlfriend. She knows I fuck other girls, and she's still loyal to me because I provide value beyond that. I don't have to give sexual exclusivity to be a valuable man. I'm valuable no matter who I bang. A woman needs to give loyalty or she has no value at all.
And of course, he started to sell courses on this topic. Tate began to fall into the manosphere, the perfect fit for the red pill and pickup artist types, an arrogant, unapologetic womanizer, rich kickboxing champion who was quick-witted and kind of likeable. Andrew began to get more and more attention. A lot of the more outrageous clips of Andrew come from this time, with most of them being him trolling people in order to get a reaction. As he began to get invited onto notable podcasts like Fresh and Fit, he rose to become notable in his own right. More and more eyes fell upon him, and he was able to monetize this golden gaze with his online courses.
So when I tell people don't go to university, you haven't got that time to waste, they say to me, well, what do I do instead? And this is the answer. What you do instead is join my university program. I'm going to teach you everything from start to finish. Everything I've ever learned about business.
Hustlers University has been one of Andrew's most lucrative endeavours. This is a collection of courses sold on his website and is currently on its 4th iteration. Hustlers University has had many things on it over the years. First, let's take a look at his PhD course. No, Andrew isn't handing out Doctor of Philosophy degrees. The PhD stands for Pimping Hose Degree. Classy. This is a course where you can learn how to manipulate women into becoming an adult entertainment worker for you.
So yeah, on corporatate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is Pimp and Hose degree that I'm
clever.
And
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both. Your bottom bitch knows. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day. So the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka. Put on the fucking chatterbait. 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk, because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls.
There are many other courses on Hustlers University ranging from fitness to AI skills, and the site tells you that you get one-on-one advice from industry experts and mentorship from hyper-successful millionaires. Some say that this is just a scam, while others say that it's a useful tool. I honestly don't fancy joining, but I've watched quite a few videos of people who have joined showing you around the site and trying out the courses, and they seem pretty useful to me, but also seem like stuff you could find on YouTube for free. One thing that I do know for sure is that Hustlers University is a very good money maker for the Tates. I've heard the number of members range from 64,000 to 200,000, but the website says 100,000 plus, so let's work with the number 100,000. Hustlers University costs $50 a month, but you must act quick to lock in this price, or the price will go up to $147 someday soon, maybe. So if my maths is correct, and bear in mind I'm dumb and never went to school, 100,000 times $50 is $5 million a month, just from Hustlers University. Not bad. Love him or hate him, Andrew Tate is a master of marketing. He posts intentionally outrageous content, then gets his army of Hustlers University recruits to chop them up and post them all over social media, and he does this all for free, never having to pay a penny for any of the promotion. The people clipping and reposting his content have a link to Hustlers University, and if someone signs up using that link, the recruit gets a small cut of the profits. This business model exploded Andrew all over the internet, with people that hated him and his bombastic views sharing his name on content even more.
You're confusing 1% of men with all men. The majority of men have no money, no power, no sex from their wife,
Facts.
no fucking chance in court. They can't even keep their house. They won't get to see their kids. So most men, their life sucks. That's the first thing. The second thing, when a man gets up at 4 a.m. to go carry garbage to earn a good wage, he ain't thinking, I'm going to do this so I can oppress that bitch because she's broke. He's doing it thinking, so I can provide for my family, so my woman can stay at home and raise my kids and have nice nails while I'm out here carrying trash. You go to a coal mine, those dudes are not down there thinking about oppressing women. They're down there thinking about providing for women. Us men are prepared to take on more bullshit to protect you than you would possibly believe. Men are out here giving up their fucking life for you chicks. And feminism prevents you respecting it.
This led to him being the most Googled man on the planet and being in news headlines all over the world. The British government even told teachers not to discuss him with pupils as they didn't like the message that he was sending to young boys. I kind of feel like this is a matter for parents and not governments, but I guess our overlords know best. Hustlers University is actually not the most interesting thing on offer on Andrew Tate's website. Let's dig a little deeper. The War Room is the next step on the ladder to escape the Matrix. This is a private group of high-value men. You didn't see, but I did air quotes there. This is a very secretive group, and what goes on inside is a little murky, but we do know some stuff. So it costs around $5,000 to join, and for that money you get access to Telegram chat rooms, video courses, thousands of like-minded men who can help each other out, and you can meet up in real life with some of these people at group events. We also know some of the high-level members of the War Room. This is Iggy Semmelweis, or real name Miles Sunkin. He is a self-described master hypnotist and magician. He is Andrew Tate's second in command at the War Room and also runs a camgirl business using his wife as the main attraction. Kiddie Fiddler Gandalf is not the only person we know about. This is Sartorial Shooter, or real name Joel Sullivan. He is a spokesman of sorts for the War Room and former director of international security at a global healthcare company. He seems a bit too sensible to be involved with this stuff, to be honest. Once you join the War Room, you are expected to keep paying out more and more money to gain access to higher and higher level stuff. One of these things is called the Test, which costs around $5,000. This is an event where you meet Andrew Tate and his crew of master hypnotists in Romania and have a cage fight with other members of the War Room. Then all gather round in a small room and take pictures of a naked lady, apparently. I have honestly seen mixed reviews for the War Room and Hustlers University, but mostly they seem positive. It could be the case that these positive reviews are just trying to get you to join up so they can get a cut of the profits, or maybe it's useful, I don't know. I know people have strong feelings about Andrew Tate one way or the other, but can we just forget all that and take a sec to appreciate the absurdity of this? The War Room. The fucking War Room. With a pedo-looking magician as second in command, and you pay $5,000 to join some Telegram chats. Then you pay another $5,000 to go and have a fight. These are all things you can do for free. Well, apart from the nonce magician, I guess. That seems pretty niche and will probably cost you a lot. I don't know if Andrew Tate is trolling with this stuff or taking advantage of desperate men, or maybe it's a useful group. But from the outside looking in, it seems dumb and kind of a bit cult-like, to be honest. Andrew Tate has a surprising interest in telling stories and artwork, having many animated short stories that he has written on his website. As you can no doubt guess, the hero of these stories is a powerful bald man that looks a lot like Andrew. They mostly seem set in China and revolve around the Wudan mountain where the main character has lived for 5,000 years. The stories are told in the vein of Chinese proverbs, with the author being named Tate Shinkai. Sounds Japanese. I feel kind of weird just saying this for some reason, like I'm lying or something, but this is just on his website. Go and check it out for yourself if you want. He also has a limited edition comic named Top G, and yes, you guessed it, the main character is a powerful bald man that looks a lot like Andrew. In fairness, I think this is actually meant to be Andrew. The comic starts with Top G playing chess against two Russian mob bosses. Of course, Top G is destroying them. Then we see why they are playing chess. The Russian mob bosses have kidnapped Top G's brother, and the only way to free him is to win. Top G slowly looks up at the Russians with a smile on his face saying, "Check, mate." And within a split second he punches one of the Russians through the face. Before the other mob boss has time to react, Top G has already fly kicked his neck from his body and his head. Then 100 beautiful Russian women come running in, hungry for Top G. Then he probably punches a bear to death or something, maybe. Fuck knows, I haven't read the comic. It costs $97 and I've got coke and hookers to buy. Maybe if you sign up to my new online course about how to fiddle with your willy and waste your life, I'll have enough money to buy it one day.
Saying they're going to replace me with some algorithm matrix agent bot like Logan Paul, who nobody respects and doesn't want to listen to.
As the years have gone by, Andrew started to talk about the Matrix more and more. Now this is one of his main selling points: how to escape the Matrix and the impending slavery of humanity that the leaders of the Matrix will impose upon us all. What the Matrix actually is not well defined, but I don't think he believes it's shadowy robots using us for batteries, but more of a new metaphor for an old idea. 10 years ago, this was the Illuminati or the Freemasons. In 1961, President Eisenhower warned of the military-industrial complex. The Christians have the devil. Today, the far left would call it white supremacy, and the far right would blame the Jews. They all point to powerful puppet masters pulling the strings of reality while the peasants end up in a tangled mess. I find this impulse fascinating as it spans across so many different groups, with each ideology just changing the entity in charge and the targets of oppression. And what if it's true? What if collectively we have blindly stumbled across some kind of truth and are just feeling it out, coming to slightly different conclusions to something that is actually there? Or maybe rich and powerful people are just better positioned to take advantage of the cogs of reality turning, or maybe they're just smarter than the rest of us, or maybe they're interdimensional shape-shifting lizards. Who knows? People love to obsess around these abstract entities, lost in a haze of maybes, shaping their world around guesswork, never realising that their struggle to free themselves from restraints becomes their very shackles. Let's take a closer look at Andrew Tate's version of this phenomenon. He believes that we are already living in what he calls the Matrix, a system set up to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. For him, the entities running the show are left-wing elites, shadowy Western leaders who have enacted a plan to emasculate the only thing that can stop them, young fighting-age men. Andrew sees himself as some kind of freedom fighter, giving young men the ability to fight back against the tyranny being thrust upon them. His idea being it's hard to enslave humanity when we have an army of fit, rich, competent and brave young men. I guess him getting very rich by pushing this idea is just him enjoying the spoils of war. Some right-wing internet personalities have connected with Andrew over this idea, which has gained him more of a following with the mainstream right-wing circles. Allied against the Matrix, they seem happy for the time being to overlook his less than morally pure lifestyle and attitudes to the world.
Stage 1 of a 3-step plan. So I'm going to be viral for a little bit longer, then step 2 begins. The conquest is continuing.
My customer base was losers. Like, someone like me would never do that.
Tristan Tate was born on the 15th of July 1988 in Chicago to the same mother and father as Andrew. After the divorce of their parents, the two brothers became very close, and it's surprising how much their lives are the same. The pair have lived with each other all of their lives and still continue to live with each other to this day. Tristan got the nickname Talisman given to him by an African man he would go to bars with in Luton. The man gave him this name as every time they would go out they would get lots of women, so he thought he was a lucky charm. When he was 23 years old, Tristan appeared on the British reality TV show called Shipwrecked. He didn't win, as most people saw him as arrogant. Tristan Tate was also the European kickboxing champion twice, but retired from the sport after a car accident which injured his shoulder. He would then go on to get a 9-to-5 job in sales in order to support Andrew in building his kickboxing career. The pair have shared a bank account since a young age and basically just combined their wealth regardless of who earned the money. When they were younger and training hard to become kickboxing champions, they were so poor that Tristan would wait outside KFC watching for people to finish their food. He would then collect the leftover scraps of chicken and cook it up with rice to feed him and Andrew. Now that they are rich, each year on his birthday, him and Andrew eat KFC to remember this. Andrew's drive to become rich and famous pushed Tristan, and the pair would spend hours talking about the best way to achieve these goals. Tristan also sold his own online courses.
But I'm going to talk to you about how to have sex with virgins. You then have to take her virginity on the 2nd month anniversary or something along those lines, and I'm going to teach you how to do it.
Pretty cool stuff. What a weird course to sell. How to trick virgins into bed. That's got to be up there with the PhD course. Tristan also had, until very recently, an OnlyFans management business. Foreshadowing alert, this will be important later. He has also amassed his own following over the years, having 750,000 followers on Instagram before the Tates were banned from the internet. Tristan also has his own website, which I think illustrates the similarities and differences between the brothers. Tristan's website is pretty sparse, with one page talking about him and the other page with a link to the Real World online course, which replaced Hustlers University for a while. He doesn't have any comics or animated short stories about himself, and the feel of the website is a little more suave and sophisticated, with Tristan comparing himself to James Bond a lot, which is where the flashes of similarities to Andrew come in. Both websites relentlessly tell you how great the Tate brothers are, which seems to be the reason the websites exist. Well, that and funneling people to buy their online courses. The Tate brothers also have a sister that they don't get along with due to political disagreements, namely her being a feminist. Must be interesting Christmas dinner chats. I won't get into her story as she seems more private than the brothers, so I'll respect her wishes.
nothing is stopping me from becoming Batman. Nothing. I have a Batcave.
Okay. Yep.
I have an Alfred.
Okay.
I have a Batmobile, a Bugatti.
Yep.
I can fight.
Yep.
Rich as fuck.
You can afford body armor and all the crap that
all
Batman
the crap,
needs.
can buy it all. I'm charismatic. There is nothing stopping me putting on a suit and being Batman. Not pretending to be Batman. Actually 100% being
Stop
Batman.
being criminals.
But I could do that. And all you other people can't do that. You can't just go be Batman.
You can't be Batman. Sorry.
Does that not upset you a little bit that I can just become Batman and you have to sit there and watch Batman movies and think I'll never be Batman?
In 2021, Andrew Tate was permanently banned from Twitter, and in August 2022 he was banned from Facebook and Instagram for violating their policies on dangerous organisations and individuals. Next up was TikTok for violating their policies on content that attacks, threatens, incites violence against or otherwise dehumanises an individual or group. Then YouTube for hate speech and COVID misinformation. Andrew then deleted his own Twitch account. Tate had lost 4.7 million followers on Instagram and over 13 billion views on TikTok. This may have been the end for most people. He had spent many years and much time and effort to build up these platforms, and they had been snatched away in an instant. But Andrew Tate is a wily little coyote, and soon he had signed a deal with Rumble, a platform that he still posts to and has amassed 1.5 million subscribers. Andrew paints his banning as a good thing and claims to be bigger than ever since he got banned, but undoubtedly this would have been a big blow to his brand. Plus, he wasn't just cancelled from social media, but around the same time had his Uber account blocked, bank account and payment processing frozen, and Airbnb account blocked. Andrew estimates this cost him around $15 million. He became more paranoid after this event, which is understandable. He now reportedly has armed guards and bulletproof windows at his Romanian home and claims that he no longer buys property, as once you do, the government can control you. In April 2022, the Tate brothers were taken into custody by Romanian police. The man had called the US Embassy to report his girlfriend was being held captive at the Tate brothers' Romanian home. Police raided the house and nearby webcam studio to find 4 women. 2 of the women claimed to be held against their will and 2 of them didn't. The brothers were investigated for human trafficking and forcing themselves onto the women, but were quickly released without charge. The pair were held as witnesses rather than suspects. The Tate side of the story is that the American woman was interested in Tristan Tate but got a phone call from her boyfriend while she was with them, so lied about being held captive in order not to get in trouble with her boyfriend. The incident was plastered all over the internet, with the outrage whores claiming that this was proof that Andrew Tate was an evil misogynist, and the Tate cult zealots claiming that it was proof that the Matrix was out to get their divine leader. Talking of divine leaders, Andrew was raised a Christian but turned away from this as he grew older, becoming an atheist. Around this time, so early 2022, he found God again, becoming a Christian and even donating £16,000 a month to the Romanian Orthodox Church. Andrew would begin talking about the benefits of religion on him as a person and on society as a whole. His newly found love for the triune God didn't last long though, and in October 2022 he converted to Islam, stating that Christianity was too weak and falling to the left-wing agenda. Muslims on the whole embraced their new brother, but some did denounce him due to his morally questionable business and lifestyle choices.
Islam very closely reflects my personal beliefs. Through my personal life, I've learned that if you don't have standards and you're not a strong person who's prepared to defend his ideas, you'll be crushed.
Yes.
And we look at most religions in the world today which are not prepared to defend their ideas. What's happened to them? They're just getting crushed. And now we have Christianity as an idea which has basically said, well, we can't set any firm rules because everyone will just quit. So instead, let's make it so easy to be a Christian that nobody has to put any effort in.
Yeah.
And then accept everybody no matter what, and hopefully we can keep the church doors open. That's not God to me, you know?
Yeah.
God to me is strong. God to me is something to be feared.
Yeah.
God to me is someone that people are afraid to mock.
Yeah.
God to me is someone that you have to go out of your way to prove something to. God to me has red lines.
Yeah.
Like God to me represents the Islamic faith. The Christian God to me, I don't see God. I can't explain. I don't see anything there.
In November 2022, Tate was unbanned from Twitter when Papa Elon snatched Twitter from the hands of the Matrix, and in December 2022, Tate had a Twitter tiff with the environmentalist Greta Thunberg.
How dare you?
Tate tweeted at her, bragging about his carbon-emitting cars and asking her to provide an email so he could give her more information. Greta replied with a fake email address, which was smalldickenergy@getalife.com. This barely amusing reply would become news headlines all over the world and is one of the most liked tweets ever. Tate hit back with this pointless video. I really hate dumb internet drama.
But now I know, at least, that Greta, with a little hate-filled face, bitter, sitting somewhere without the heating on, in the cold, a little hat, shivering, views my tweets, which is going to make my Twitter account far more fun.
Andrew Tate was arrested shortly after posting this video, with many people on the internet saying that it was the pizza box that gave away his location. The Romanian authorities have said that this is incorrect. So, what was he arrested for? Place your bets now. Once again, human trafficking, forcing himself upon women, and a new charge to the Tate repertoire, forming an organised criminal group. Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate and 2 women were arrested on these charges and taken to a Romanian prison. They also had some of their assets seized, including 15 cars, 10 properties. I know he said he didn't own properties, but maybe he was lying, or they belong to a business that he owns. I have no idea. He also had watches and money taken, all of which totaled more than $4 million. The pair were held in prison for over 90 days before being let out on house arrest. I am very far from an expert on Romanian law, but let's take a deeper look at the case against them, as it's pretty interesting. I will say, before we get lost in the weeds, that I'm a firm believer of innocent until proven guilty, so that's my position, but I'll show you both sides so you can make your own mind up. So firstly, let's hear Andrew Tate's side.
A very quick 1-minute version of my case is as follows. An American girl was sponsored by a liberal NGO to come over here. She visited for 5 days and then accused me of kidnap. She's accused 7 other men of kidnap in her life. One of them actually killed himself from the pressure. So she is a professional. The Romanian authorities reacted to her phone call, as they should. To be fair to them, when a woman says she's kidnapped, came into the house, realized no one was kidnapped, released us after 2 hours. That was in April last year. For the 9 months after that, we were followed at direction of a foreign intelligence agency, which was commanding Romania to do so. We were arrested again and accused of human trafficking because 2 girls we know, we helped them make TikTok videos. We told them how to be popular on TikTok. Yes, you heard me correctly. We helped some of our friends be popular on TikTok. Then these 2 girls were supposedly victims. Those 2 girls have come out with videos saying we are not victims. They've made 10 videos saying we are not victims. We do not want the Tates in jail. They have never hurt us. They are our friends, and the state is saying they are brainwashed. So the current case against me has nobody in the stand against me. The 2 victims on my side, and the state trying to put me in jail for 10 years for helping my friends make videos on TikTok.
But the state believes it's true, and the state thinks that I, as a 35-year-old man, woke up. I was already extremely financially successful. I was already a father. I was already very well known. I had no financial motivation. I have no criminal record. It's not my personality profile, but I woke up at the age of 35 and decided to make girls do TikTok to enrich myself with the pennies that I would earn from TikTok views.
The Romanian prosecutor's office have released the indictment against him, so we know that he is misrepresenting the charges against him here. On the second page of the indictment, it clearly says OnlyFans and TikTok. TikTok being a platform that not much money is made on, but OnlyFans being a platform that much money is made on. I'll also point out the definition of human trafficking, as some people seem to be conflating this with kidnap. The unlawful act of transporting or coercing people in order to benefit from their work or services, typically in the form of forced labour or sexual exploitation. Not looking good for our lad Andrew. He has spent many years admitting to exactly this and even selling courses on it. But just because he did it in the past doesn't mean it's true for this case, and this case is all that matters for now. 2 women that lived with the Tate brothers have publicly defended them, and 2 of the 7 alleged victims in the case have come out and said that they were not victimised. Another part of the case are messages leaked from the war room. These messages show Tate bragging about how he manipulated one of the women in the case. He told the members of the war room how he isolated her from her family and friends friends, moved her away from her home and didn't give her any money, and convinced her that the only way for them to be in love was for her to start working on the cams. Tate claims that this is a matrix attack on him, as the people in charge don't like him giving young men the tools to escape. Andrew Tate has made many predictions over the years, claiming that the matrix has 3 ways to shut you up. First they cancel you, then they imprison you, then they kill you. He made these claims before he was even cancelled, and continues to say this, even going as far to say that he would never end his own life multiple times in interviews. Honestly, I think he overinflates his importance in the world with claims like he controls an entire generation of boys and is the most famous person in the world, which is why the Matrix wants to stop him. But who knows, maybe it's true. Tate is also being investigated for money laundering and trafficking of minors, but as of the time of this recording, he has not been charged with any of these crimes. In March 2023, Tate's legal team stated he has a dark spot on his lung, most likely a tumour, but Tate has since denied that this is cancer. And in April 2023, Tristan Tate was banned from Instagram. In the present day, Andrew Tate releases videos on Rumble claiming to be under attack from the Matrix, and does a lot of live streams with a guy called Aiden Ross, who I know nothing about, but he seems to have a big following. These live streams are kind of weird to watch. Aiden seems kind of a bit slow, I guess. I'm not really too sure what his deal is, but Tate just kind of abuses him, but also they're kind of friends. It's all a bit odd. Andrew has also made it known that he gives $25 million a year to feed kids in the third world. I never really intended to make a video about Andrew Tate, but just got kind of lost down a rabbit hole while working on another video I've been working on for a couple of months now, and here we are. His story is more interesting than I was expecting, to be honest. When making these videos, I try to be as unbiased as I can be while making them entertaining, so that you can make your own mind up, and I'll give my opinion at the end. So, what do I think of Andrew Tate? I think he is misrepresented and taken out of context a lot. By both sides. The people that love him and the people that hate him both do this, which is by his design, so I don't really feel sorry for him in this regard. Is he a good influence on young men? Probably not, but if you don't like the message that he's giving to young men, then give them something better. We are told from a young age that our nature is bad, forced to sit in stupid little chairs at school, don't fight at all, we have oppressed the world and everyone on it, we are toxic and blah blah blah, you all know. Why would anyone think that this is a good message that men can get behind? Andrew Tate's message is better than this, which is why young men are listening to it, and really, is he any worse than anyone else on the internet? Logan Paul sells sugary energy drinks and crypto scams to young people, and Andrew sells Hustlers University and pimping women. Well, that is worse, I guess. I don't really like his online persona, as I don't like loud, brash people in general, and he's a very shouty and annoying person. Andrew Tate sells dumb ideas to desperate men, telling them that the path to happiness is through consumerism and women, when the path that they would need to walk is more internal, finding happiness within rather than external factors. The reality of the world is that men like things and women like men with lots of things. But this isn't the path to happiness for men, and all the religions that Andrew Tate flirts with would tell you this quite clearly. As far as I can make out, men and women have struck an evolutionary bargain that women will sacrifice their physical abilities in order to have children, and men will sacrifice their lives to protect and provide for those children. Andrew Tate's message seems to go against this bargain and says that men should look out for themselves, so I don't really think that this is the correct message to give. I have a little rule that I use to judge people that I call the law of opposites. It's not 100% correct all of the time, but more often than not it is. So we are the opposite of the social masks that we put on in order to guard our insecurities. We try to keep people as far away as possible from the things that we feel uneasy about. So if someone is always happy, then maybe they are hiding some deep unresolved sadness. If someone is always aggressive, then maybe they feel insecure about their ability to handle conflict. And if someone sits on the internet screaming about how great they are and how lame everyone else is, well, this doesn't seem like the action of someone who actually believes this. I'm not saying that Andrew Tate is lying about having loads of money or beautiful women, or even that he's a highly competent man, but maybe some kind of imposter syndrome is going on. Luton is seen as the toilet that doesn't flush of Britain, and he's grown up in a poor single parent family. Maybe he screams at the world because he's really screaming at himself. Or maybe not. In the things that I've seen where he's not putting on this persona, he actually seems like a pretty chill, respectful guy. And I haven't found anyone that knows him in real life that has a bad word to say against him. Well, apart from the women that accuse him of forcing himself upon them, which is a pretty big counterweight, I guess. On that topic, the human trafficking stuff seems to be a recurring theme. As I said before, I believe in innocent until proven guilty, and a lot of people seem to be judging him based on his past, which I get. Andrew has exhibited a pattern of manipulation throughout his whole life, from reality TV to the PhD course. He has openly admitted this over and over again, so it seems crazy to think that he's not doing this now. I'm a very different person than I was 15 years ago, so people can and should change, but if you have a well-established pattern of behaviour, then it's on you to prove that you've changed rather than people to just blindly trust that you have. And I haven't seen anything to suggest that he's changed. In fact, if we look at how he's gained notoriety, he has used the never-ending moral outrage of the left, the right's fear of change and desperate need for allies, the Muslims' march to convert the planet, men's disenfranchised redundancy in the modern world, women's desire for love and security, plus the need of people like me for content and clicks, all to promote himself, and it's worked. Maybe it has worked a little too well, as when the eyes of the world are gazing upon you, you better make sure you've washed your dick. Not really sure what that means, but also it makes perfect sense. Andrew's a clever guy and knows that in the modern world, the new gold rush is for people's attention. The ability for companies to empty your pockets through your eyes. YouTube, TikTok and all of these social media companies and all of the people like me who create for them are using your natural instincts against you, racing to the bottom of your brainstem and putting our grubby little fingers into your already empty pockets, taking out the last pennies to add to our pile of money. Well, not me, I guess I'm probably poorer than you, but you know what I mean. Maybe we should all learn to treat our attention with the value that it truly has, only using it on things worthwhile and not on outrage whores like Andrew Tate and the people like me that make videos about them. Bit of a weird speech, me telling you not to watch my videos, but it's true and I believe in the truth, so here we are. You don't need to listen to people like me or Andrew Tate or these idiots on the internet trying to sell your dreams. You already know how to make your life better. You just need to do it. Be truly honest with yourself, then listen to your conscience and follow where it leads you. And if you're unsure how to do this, then sign up to my new course for just $9.99 a month. Second time I've made that joke. And if you'd like to learn how to tell the same joke twice in the same video, then sign up to my new course. I'll stop it now. The Andrew Tate story is still in full swing, and who knows what the future will bring. Will he go to prison? Will the pedo magician ever shave his beard? Will Andrew bring down the Matrix? Only the great architect in the sky will know for sure. Let's hope that whatever happens, everyone involved gets the true justice that they deserve. And the pedo magician shaves his pedo little beard.
People often wonder why my fan base is so feverish, why my fan base is so dedicated. Well, if they listen to me, it's the first time they ever feel good. The first time they ever train hard and start to feel better physically, and they start to feel better mentally, and they adopt my mental model, and now they're not stressed or depressed anymore, and then they may start to make some money, and they go, you know what, I started listening to Tate a year ago. I'm in the best shape financially, the best shape physically, the best shape mentally. Tate's the man.
Thanks to the channel members, you're the true alphas in this story. If you like this video, then watch this one about Steven Seagal, and bye-bye.
Have a sip.